The wind howled through the barren trees, their skeletal branches reaching out like bony fingers in the darkness. The moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie silver glow over the small, forgotten town of Ravenscroft. Halloween night had descended upon the town, and with it came a sense of foreboding that sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to venture out. In the heart of Ravenscroft stood an old, decrepit mansion known as the Hollow House. It had been abandoned for decades, its windows shattered and its walls covered in ivy, creating a haunted appearance that drew the curious and the brave every Halloween. Legend had it that the mansion was cursed, and that those who entered its forsaken halls never returned. A group of teenagers, looking for a thrill on this spooky night, gathered outside the Hollow House. Among them was Sarah, a fearless young woman with a taste for the macabre. She had heard the stories and wanted to prove that they were nothing more than urban legends. "Come on, guys," Sarah urged her friends, holding a flickering flashlight in her hand. "It's just a house. What's the worst that could happen?" With hesitant nods, the group cautiously made their way through the overgrown garden and reached the front door. It creaked open with an eerie groan as if welcoming them into its haunted depths. Inside, the air was damp and filled with the scent of decay. Cobwebs draped across the grand staircase, and dust-covered furniture whispered of past lives forgotten. As they explored further, they stumbled upon an old mirror in the corner of a dimly lit room. Its glass was cracked, and the image it reflected was distorted. Sarah stared into the mirror, her reflection contorting into grotesque shapes. She gasped, stepping back, but her friends were too captivated by their own reflections, which seemed to twist and warp with malevolent intent. Suddenly, a chilling breeze swept through the room, extinguishing their flashlights. Panic set in as they fumbled to relight them. That's when they heard it, a faint, haunting melody, like a mournful piano playing in the distance. The group followed the sound through the mansion's labyrinthine corridors. With each step, the music grew louder, echoing in their ears like a sinister lullaby. They finally reached the source, a grand ballroom at the heart of the house, where a ghostly figure dressed in tattered finery played the piano, its bony fingers gliding over the keys. Frozen with fear, they watched as the figure slowly turned its hollow eyes toward them, its face obscured by a decaying mask. With a voice that sent shivers down their spines, it spoke, "You've entered the Hollow House, and now, you shall become part of its cursed legacy." The room began to spin, the walls closing in on them. Desperate to escape, they tried to flee, but the mansion seemed to shift and change, leading them deeper into its nightmarish depths. As they stumbled through the ever-shifting corridors, the ghostly figure continued to play its haunting tune, the melody growing more discordant and sinister. The teens knew they were trapped in a never-ending nightmare, forever doomed to wander the Hollow House. Outside, the moon shone down on the mansion, casting a sinister glow over the forsaken town of Ravenscroft. Halloween night had claimed its victims once again, and the legend of the Hollow House lived on, a chilling tale to be whispered around campfires for generations to come.